And we're still doing that one?
That one?
Yeah, so you're that farthest one.
Right, but
the... on both of you.
Okay.
Cool.
Welcome back! So, the last lesson we had, we learned the beginning of Over the Rainbow. Mm-hmm. And we've had a little bit to practice. What have you noticed?
What I've noticed is E minor's not very scary. Mm-hmm. What I noticed was trying to go from C to E minor, I was crowding my fingers around C, and then that was making it hurt. Mm-hmm. And I realized, I'm just going down a little bit and realigning them. Mm-hmm. So it's not that big a deal. It's still slow for me, but it's not as scary as it felt.
Yeah, before. It can seem scary, but, and especially if you can keep your fingers out and up. Think of it as like playing the piano, how we want them curled and round. We want them ready and round and ready to move as soon as we need them, and then we lead with our first finger. Yeah. So E minor is a perfect example from C to E minor where you're going to do both of those things. And so if you can not be intimidated, that's the biggest thing. Play with confidence. If you make mistakes, it's okay. Because you're playing for yourself mostly, and when you play for yourself, you can have self-compassion, which you should. You should have self-compassion on yourself. Hence self-compassion. Yeah. So today we're going to be learning the second part of this medley. Yeah. It really is in 4 parts, this song. You have the introduction, where you have your strumming and then the ooze. Then you have the Somewhere Over the Rainbow verse. Then the next chunk is the What a Wonderful World section. And then you come back to kind of the outro, which is you come back to Somewhere Over the Rainbow and you play the ooze out. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at What a Wonderful World, which we're going to be using, again, E minor and E7. Mm-hmm. So let's just play through what we know already. We've got C, and we've got G, and we've got A minor, and we've got F, then we've got E minor, and then E7, and so we're going to be going from C to E minor, and then from from C to E minor, and then from C to E7. So what's nice is that C is, again, our safety chord. You come back to it, you remember it, it is easy to play, and it sounds really good when you play it. So coming back to safety and moving from there, like you said, key is keep those 2 fingers up and supple, so that when you move up, it's just a nice slide up. And then as we go from C to E7, we're just coming back and placing our fingers. So the big part of this song is going to be C, E minor, F, and C. And we're just doing a combination of all of those notes to have this middle part of the verse. So if we want to go to that section of the song, it begins, well, I see trees of green and red roses too. So we're going to start on C. Well, I see trees of green. So we're going to go up back to E minor. Then we're going to come back to F. Red roses. Then back to C. 2. Back to F. I'll watch them bloom. Bloom's going to be at C. Then E7. For me and you. Go to A minor. See? So they move really nicely into each other. If you are struggling with the strum pattern, you are not alone. Okay? But it's good to keep the strum pattern going because it sounds closer to the song and it makes you feel special because you're like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this just like it's on the radio. But if you ever struggle with that, then take it back to what we've just done and do just a 1 strum per note.
Okay.
So let's do that again. Well, I see trees of E minor green. Then go to F. Red roses 2. Back to F. I'll watch them bloom. C. E7. For me and A minor U. Then we're going to go back to F. And I think to myself, G. We haven't seen G for a little while, so let's make sure we place correctly. What a wonderful world. Then we do F in the middle of there. And what that does in this song, A minor and F, gets us to the next part. It's where he often throws in what a wonderful world. And then we go to the next part of the song. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white. So again, we're rocking back and forth from C to F and from E minor to F. So these are movements we've done. So let's come back to, well, I see skies of blue. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. E7. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. F, C. See? Totally got this.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Then we go into what's called the bridge of What a Wonderful World. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also in the faces of people passing by. We're coming back to G on this section. So for me, if I were playing this, I would circle that section so I would know G is coming. I need to give myself time to get to G and to plant my fingers so that it doesn't sound all buzzy. Remember, if your notes sound buzzy, let's see if I can do it wrong. Hear that buzz? It's usually because you're not planted in the middle of in between those 2 frets. That one, you're planted in the middle. So if you get buzzy, and it's usually because you're a little panicked and you're jumping to the note that you haven't played for a really long time.
What? That never happens to me. Don't worry.
There's no panic. No panic at all. There's no room for panic while I'm playing my ukulele. So coming back to that G is going to be important. So let's look at the colors of the rainbow. So let's do a G. The colors of the rainbow. Back to C, yay, we know this one. So pretty in the sky are also on the faces of people passing by. Now we're going to go back to F. I see friends shaking hands saying, how do you listening to the new one. The new chord. This is D minor 7th. We play it once in this song. And it's right here. And it's probably the most important part of the song because he's saying that as they're waving, they're really saying, I love you. So we're going to do a D minor 7th, which we're going to start with an F. And luckily, that's what we've been playing, so we're good. So then we're going to place our third finger right behind our second finger. So we have from the top, we have our second finger, then our third finger, then our first finger, and our fourth finger, which is our pinky, is just hanging out there until we're gonna just drop it down where we would normally play C. So your pinky's gonna be where C is.
Yeah.
It's a lovely sound. It's getting there.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. Okay. So, again, we're going to go to F. We're going to place our third finger, and then we're going to just drop our pinky nice and calm on C. Okay. So, to get there, we've just come from C. So come over, rock onto F, and just place your fingers that way. That will be the easiest way. And again, if we're doing it in the non-strumming, which right now, because as we're learning, that's what we want to do, we'll have played C, then we're going to rock over. Yeah. And then we're going to come back to C. Okay, so let's go back to the colors of the rainbow. So pretty in the sky. Coming back to G, which we haven't seen for a little while. And we'll just play it a lot so that we're comfortable with it. Okay, so let's do a G. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. Let's go to F. See friends shaking hands, saying, just rocking back and forth, how do you do? F, they're really saying. Go back to F where we were going to be anyway. Place our fingers. You got it. Yeah!
Yay!
You did it. That's D minor 7th. I love you. Okay?
Yeah.
And then we go back to the verse where we're doing C's and E minors. So let's go back to there. In the song, this is where he goes a little higher. I have to apologize. This is not a really great key, especially for women, because it's either really high or really low. But if you get a capo, which I'll bring in a capo next week and show you how it can transpose things for you, you can find a good key for your voice. But to play this song, it's kind of in this kind of strange place where it's in his key, not in ours. So if we want to go to C, I hear babies cry. He goes, I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. Then we go back to F. They'll learn much more. E7. Then we'll know. And I think to myself, gee, what a wonderful world. And then we go into the last part of the song, the fourth part of the song, which is what we call the outro, or what plays you out. So as we look at that, we come back to Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which we haven't played yet today, so let's go ahead and go play Somewhere Over the Rainbow so we can remember it. we come back to, again, we're playing the same notes, C and E minor. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And then if we're strumming, let's just do some strumming.
Okay.
So again, down, down, up, up, down, up. Okay? So down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Good. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dare to, why then, oh why can't I? And then it goes to the oohs. So, again, 4 parts to this song. It begins and it ends with oohs. We start with Somewhere Over the Rainbow. We merge into What a Wonderful World. And then we come back to Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And then we ooh on the way out. So, the strum pattern is going to make it faster. So the slower you do the strum pattern at the beginning, the better. Or again, the easiest way for you to learn right now is to do just 1 strum per note. Make sure you have things placed so you're not buzzing. There were a couple of buzzes in there,
Yes.
and I think it's just as we transition from note to note, there's going to be some insecurity, shall we say? A little insecurity when it comes to placing our fingers, because again, we're probably just going to want to be looking at the fretboard.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be looking at the music, and we're supposed to be singing, but don't freak out. Keep breathing. Think of a beautiful day on the beach, playing this with your ukulele. That's ultimately where we're going with this. So let's go back to the beginning, and let's start with the verse part of Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Yep.
Okay. So we're not going to do the strum pattern. Let's just make sure that we have the notes down. So we start with the C. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Remember, that's what he does with the song. When we go from A minor to F, he's usually doing fun things where he's going up high, and we're just trying to get the notes. But if you want to listen to the song, it's in the same key.
Okay.
So one great tactic would be to put it on your earbuds and play along to it and see how he handles the song. There's some beautiful runs that he does, and just really fun ways that he handles the strum pattern, which is not strictly what we're doing, but as a native player, he does some really beautiful things. So let's just remember those things and let's keep playing.
Okay.
So again, what we learned last time is that we're basically repeating the same 2 lines over and over and over again. And you're doing really well.
Oh, thanks.
You're doing really well. So hopefully you're following along with us at home, and you're doing really well too. So good job. We're going to say that right now because we all deserve it. Okay? So let's do Somewhere Over the Rainbow, Bluebirds Fly. So bluebirds fly, and the come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. This is where it goes really high. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, oh why can't I? And then we go into the next part. You did that really well. I can tell you've been practicing. Good job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're not fumbling as much as you're going from note to note.
Not as much. That is true.
That shows your progression. And there's really few buzzes too.
I know.
So,
Actually, I was surprised that the G, I thought I was really good, placed well, but then the second G was a lot better. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what it takes, as long as it's better than last time.
Yeah.
And if you train wreck it, then you start all over again. Nobody's listening but you. Okay, so let's go into let's do that last somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly,
Okay.
into the transition to the next part of the medley.
Cool.
Okay, so let's go back to C. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, why, oh why can't I? Well, I see trees of green. Did that one pop up on you?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, let's. Because it kind of popped up on me and I was like, oh, I was expecting it, but. Oh. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go back to C. Well, I see trees of green, red roses too. I'll watch them bloom, E7, for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. F, good. Well, I see skies of blue, and I see clouds of white, and the brightness of day, E7. I like the dark, and I think to myself, gee, what a wonderful world. F, C, now we're coming back to G. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, do you remember D minor 7th? Yeah! I love you. I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more, E7, than we'll know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. F, and then we go right into it. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. part he sings a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So listening to it with your earbuds in is going to really help you. He kind of plays with the notes of what he sings where. So let's do "And the Dreams." And the dreams that you dared to, why then, oh why can't I? Then we go to the oohs. And then this is the part in the song where he goes, ah. It's really fun. So,
Yeah.
you did it!
I did it.
You totally did it! Okay?
Yeah.
So, playing, not worrying too much about the strumming,
Mhm.
getting the notes where they are. Do that until you feel really comfortable and confident getting between those notes.
Mhm.
You don't have to have it memorized. That's why there's music.
Yeah.
You can find music everywhere online. It's fine. But play until you're comfortable getting to those notes. And again, circle all the G's.
Yeah.
If you know, or the D minor seventh that we play once and you can't remember by the time you get to that point how to play it again. Circle those, play the one strum pattern, come through it, sing it so that you feel comfortable and you can think, I am singing this song. This is really nice. And you can feel confident that way. And then go back in and start a strum pattern very slow. And again, play along to the song. His strum pattern isn't the strum pattern that we hear because he does some fun things with it. But you can do a basic strum pattern to it and be okay. And then you can get all the little ins and outs of his voice and what part comes where and how fun you can do the outro with the oohs. And like I said, it's kind of high or it's really low. But next week I'll bring in a capo and just kind of show how what happens is that the capo will equalize all the strings and take it up a step or two. And then everything from there is a step higher or lower. Okay. And you can sing in different keys nicely instead of like, this is right at the top of my range. I don't know if I'm going to make it. But you totally did it.
Yeah.
Now we know, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7 chords. Yeah. We'll learn a couple more next week. So
nice.
When you know 15 chords, you can play just about anything. And then you have random chords that'll show up, like the one time in the song that you can look up on your chord chart and still play just about anything. So that's what becomes super exciting and super gratifying is when you can play through the whole thing and you're like, we're playing, this is so cool. And you can have a lot of fun with it. So thanks for joining us. Yeah. We'll see you again soon. And remember to practice and have self-compassion with yourself. It's okay to make mistakes and have so much fun. That's the biggest part of this. Have fun and breathe. Keep breathing. That's the key. So we'll see you next time.